You ready? Welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus. I'm your host, Patricia Trim. And guess what? We are at the Brooklyn Library. Yes, we are here. And today our discussion and our topic is parenting belongs to parents and not to the system. This is an issue that we're continuing, and we are going to get more questions and more answers out there because we feel that too much children are being placed in homes that they are not acquainted with, and that is the high rise of children and parenting relationship not in the same. Mr. Derick Arjune, who is a well-known attorney and also well-known in the community. He will give us some of his views on parenting. He also wrote a book about that. What is the name of the book?
The mailbox syndrome.
The mailbox syndrome, which is very much interesting. I think that you folks out there should get some of that, get that book so you can read it and understand the system and where it goes when your children are being taken away from your home. We are going to keep on this issue because parenting belongs to parents and not to the system. We got to get parents out there to take control, take back their children in the right form. Mr. Arjune, author and attorney Arjune, thank you for being with us and to give your views on this topic of parenting belongs to parents and not to the system.
Thank you, Ms. Trim. As I listened to the previous speakers, they pointed up a problem that exists in our community. And that problem has to do with the fact that too many of our children are in the child protective system. Now, Janice correctly pointed out that we need to be in a position to communicate better with our children. Nonetheless, until such time that we have the skills to do so, there is a problem. And that problem is that there's a disproportionate amount of children from the minority community in the child protective system. Now, the reasons are several, but I like to concentrate on two. One is plainly racism. Too often, the system is bent on taking away children from minority parents because there's this view that minority parents are abusive. It's an extension of this view that too many of us are given to physical violence. That violence we use on our children. The second reason has to do with the fact that in the minority community, you have a clash of cultural values. That is, there's still this view that using discipline, spanking, is sometimes necessary to discipline a child. Now, I'm not an advocate for spanking, but I am an advocate for the system looking at this cultural approach that exists in the minority community, which says, if necessary, I should be able to spank my child. And indeed, the law does sanction control spanking, on the hands. Once no bruises or so come about. But the fact of the matter is that very often, because of coming from the South, coming from the Caribbean, coming from Central America, parents would employ these means as a means of discipline. And the system, rather than recognizing that there's a well-founded belief in this form of punishment, would come in and pull the child out of the house. What the system ought to be doing is educating parents that a better way to discipline a child is talking with the child, finding out what is wrong, providing educational tools to parents so that they in turn can impart to the child or children what ought to be done when the child is going astray. Not putting it into a system which is populated specifically by foster parents who are not really motivated by the interests of children, but are motivated primarily by the money they make from keeping children. So we need to have programs within the minority community that allow parents to learn more about parenting. And at the same time, ACS officials need to be aware of this cultural difference that exists between what obtains here and what might obtain in the countries from which these people come. At the same time, I would also suggest, and I think Janice touched upon this, is that parents need to find programs that will help them. But until such time you have a deep involvement of minority parents in such programs, if you have a problem, and the Child Protective Agency must adopt measures to make sure that we don't continue to have so many children coming from our community and ending up in a foster care system, which eventually leads to the production of children. In fact, many of them end up being unemployed, being poor parents, and worst of all, ending up in jail. Further to all of this, we have to concentrate on this idea of a village raising children. I believe we still live in a village, but adults have got to take up the mantle of parenting children wherever they are, whether it's saying good morning, whether it's saying good afternoon, or you see a child doing something, I mean, looking at the child sternly. You don't have to say something mean, you don't have to say something cruel. We are in a village, but we have decided among ourselves that because we live in this large metropolitan society, that the children around us aren't ours. They are in a way ours. And the way to do that, the way to show our interests, is to do simple things. Exchange greetings with them. You know, I remember standing in a corner in Queens the other day with a friend, and we were talking, and this young man passed by and said good morning to us. And we were struck by his manliness. We as adults didn't do it, he did it. So it's an example that we can do that to children, you know, as we pass them in our community, and teach them about manliness, teach them about consideration for others. So the village does exist. It is just that we are reluctant to use our capacity to parent children that we don't know. Finally, I'd like to just touch on this rather briefly. It continues to be said that our children are failing because we're not there as much as we ought to be. Yes, that is true, but I believe that many parents are trying with limited means, especially single mothers. Some of them are failing primarily because fathers are not there supporting them. And this is a big issue. In fact, statistics show that many children, especially boys, aren't successful in society because their fathers aren't present. I speak from a perspective of having boy children who haven't grown up with me. Nonetheless, I've tried my best to be around them, And so to my fellow men, I would like to urge, as much as we can, to call and speak with your boys, spend time with them, do things with them, go out with them, share topics with them, find out what it is they want to do. While we can commend women for raising children, boy children in particular, I believe very strongly that boys need their fathers. There are certain things that women cannot communicate to boys. There are certain things that women cannot share with boys. Only their fathers can. And because of those facts, I would urge my fellow men to be more involved in bringing up their boys if the boys aren't living with them. Thank you.
Thank you, attorney and author Derick Arjune, for that important message, especially calling on fathers to take their children's lives seriously, especially their boys, and lead them to be the young man that they dream of. Welcome to Tots and Teens in Focus. I'm your host, Patricia Tree, and I'm at the School of Achievement First Brooklyn High School. It is the senior signings day, and today I have with me no other than Rahisa Fraser, and she's going to, talk about her experience and how she enjoyed her years from nursery to this moment of time of going off to college. Rahisa, welcome to Tots and Teens. As a past member of Tots and Teens, I'm so proud that you are graduating, and I can see all my beauties. They're going off to high school. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Now, Rahisa, tell us something about yourself.
I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm 17 years old, and I'm in the debate team. I'm co-captain, and for fall 2013, I'll be attending Union College.
Can you share some of your experience, like working, like studying, and what you were doing? Sometimes you feel like running, or give us some chilling times.
Besides the academic work and achievement first, I would hang out with my friends on the weekend. Sometimes we would go shopping, or we would go get a frappuccino from Starbucks. Other times we would go to Froyo and get some yogurt. And there would be times where I hang out with my mom. I would go shopping with her too. And between that, there would also be times out with my dad. We would go traveling, and it's been a fun adventure. And I can't wait till college starts in the fall.
Share some of your experience with studying during the time you're studying, the long period. Sometimes I say it's too much, but what would be your views on it?
I would say that studying is a bit difficult. I still haven't settled on a specific study habit yet, and it takes time for a person to develop studying skills. And once they achieve it, they'll probably reach their certain potential. For me, I've been studying for certain areas of academic subjects. For me, it's harder to study in math because math is not one of my strongest subjects. But if it's usually like writing or reading or any other of like the humanities, I'm certainly well at it. And that's what got me to achieve like high marks on like certain regions and tests and summatives in my class. So I would say I'm certainly strong in history and in writing rather than like the sciences and math.
Now, what would be your major?
I'm still deciding on a major. First, I chose marine biology, but now it's starting to switch to cultural anthropology.
Wow. Cultural anthropology. Could you break it down? Break it down?
Anthropology is the study of certain groups of people or certain societies and how they interact. And cultural anthropology is studying basically the movement of those people and how time to time those cultures change. And it's a little bit different from sociology.
Okay, and what college are you would be enrolled in?
I'm going to be enrolled in Union College this year, and I'll be starting in the fall.
So let us know where Union College is.
Okay.
It's somewhere that I could come and
Yeah.
see you.
Union College is a small liberal arts school in Schenectady, New York. It's 4 hours from New York City, at least. And they're really known for their engineering school and most of all their humanities school as well. So I'm really excited to attend there, and I've been enrolled in their AOP class. So I'm really excited to see what this college holds for me.
So it mostly looks like you will be dealing with culture, the cultural aspect of people, the cultural aspect of anything that is cultural in our environment, in our in culture, performance, and arts and craft.
Yes. Not really arts and crafts. Well, I'll be minoring in arts, most likely fine arts, but the anthropology major itself, focuses specifically on the movement of people and their interactions and how populations start to decrease or increase during a certain time. So it does involve a little bit of biology and a little bit of history, which I like, and it combines it into like a little geographic information part that I'll be excited about learning.
So at least you'll be seeing a lot of expedition because you will have to go out to make certain that
Yeah.
this cultural aspect is what you're studying will be motivated.
Yes. Yeah, that major involves a lot of traveling to different places. So I know people who studied cultural anthropology or anthropology itself, and they traveled to places like Morocco, Tanzania, and the coast, and they've been thrilled with working there.
Well, I see you're a well major in what you're and have full knowledge of what you're about to do, and going off to college. I must say that is a great effort for your mother, your father, and your stepfather to be a part of this great big union, knowing that you was a child and they're always there with you. I think that you have a great start, and I know that I can depend on you, and I depend on you. I know when you come out of college, you will come back to Tots and Teens and give us some of your ideas of what you have experienced in college and the program and where you go from there.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to come back for New York. I've been excited because I might actually land like an internship, possibly. I'm not sure yet, but I've been working with this program called Google Bold Symposium, and they're in charge of helping high school students succeed. And so they've been really helpful for me and opening opportunities for not only the career world, but also for places like Google. So I'm really excited about that.
Thank you, Rais. I think this is the first time I call your name right, Rais, because I never could call your name right. Thank you, Rais, for being with us and being a past member of Tots and Teens. I'm so proud of you that you have gained such great achievement and you're going forward. Keep up the good works and remember Miss Trim. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
This was Tots and Teens with one of our past members, Rais Fraser, and she's off to college, and you know, there it goes, Tots and Teens. Another member of Tots and Teens is making great heights. Congratulations. Tots and Teens, and we're still at the Achievement First Brooklyn High School, and we're here with one of the graduating students. She's Avril Joseph, and she's going to give us a little talk on her experience and why she would encourage other youths to take their education seriously and get a college degree and be involved in the community projects and programs so that you can have a better outlook of yourself. Welcome once again, Avril. I listened to your speech, it was very interesting, and I know that with your mother and your father supporting you, you have come a long way. And to go off to your high school. So you got to tell us something about yourself and tell us, from the time you started going to school to college and what it was like, the experience and so forth.
So I have to say, growing up wasn't easy at all, especially being in the house with my mother. She's from Tots, the British Virgin Islands, and yeah, it's just kind of tough. Every day I would come home from school, Avril, do your homework. Stop watching TV, go do your homework. And it was like, at first I just thought she was just harassing me just because she felt like bothering me. Then I recognized, like, when I walked outside and I saw my other peers, and then I saw, like, they started selling drugs or they got pregnant and such, I decided, well, that's not the kind of life I want for myself. So I need to continue going to school and go on to college. I mean, it's nice to say you graduated from college, and there's another thing to take your degree and do something with it. So I decided I wanted to be a cardiologist, and definitely after college I'm going to graduate school, and I want to give back to my community, and the way to do that is to get my education.
Okay, so you got to take your education serious. Your experience at school, what it was like?
That's another story that wasn't easy. I've been in charter schools all of my life. I started at the Brooklyn Charter School in elementary school, and then I started at Achievement First Parent2 Middle School. The rigors, oh boy. But I have to say I adjusted to it, especially after going to middle school. It's like, this is the norm. Like, I was never used to getting out at 2 o'clock or not having to go to school on certain holidays. It was just, it became the norm, and I think it's important to start children off going to charter schools from elementary school, because I see the growth and like the definite growth the students have when they start from the very, very beginning and finish to the end.
Okay, that was very good that you could share your experience. What would be your advice to youths out there?
Stay in school. Can't stress enough, stay in school. And always have a backup plan, because I know people, like, school might not be their thing, who they want to, like, play music or do something else, but always have, like, a backup plan. Because, okay, you want to be a musician. Who knows? You could be the one financing your own concerts at the same time performing, and you do the finances, and you, like, have a backup plan. That's what I'm going to say. Make sure you have a backup plan and make sure you go to school, because going to school is extremely important.
Even if you're going to do music, it's important that you go to school and get your degree, because you will be a musician with no head. Somebody else will be taking everything that you got. So it's very much important that whatever career, whatever field, whatever opportunity you want to study in, you can even be environmental health, whatever it is, education is the most important thing. Even now the cooking, to be a chef, you have to get a degree. So you see, it's really important for education, because no one will be able to push you. Thank you, Nina, for being with us and giving us your views and your ideas